Back to the Big Fight Field channel where we speak the truth, we're honest, and we give our takes on AEW, our favorite professional wrestling company. It is Friday night, January 6th, 2022. Well, by the time basically you all see this, January 7th, and I said 2022. It is 2023. Got to get the new year right. I'm back talking wrestling. My friend, my brother, Cameron Johnson is back. Cam, what's up? What's up, man? How's the new year going for you so far?
Man, bro, the new year this year for me is going great, man. This has been, the new year for me so far is going great. It's been a great start to 2023 so far, man. It's been a great start to 2023 so far, man. I'm hoping that can continue. I'm hoping that can continue going in, for the rest of the year in 2023. But let's get this shit underway, man.
Of course, man. That's great stuff to hear. And what we're gonna do tonight's kind of different from our normal AEW shows. So I wasn't able to review the show on Wednesday because I went to the Orlando Magic game. But we are gonna talk about the new format. There's a new stage. Apparently, there's rumors that the show format is kind of changed a little bit with a better flow. Um, we're going to talk about that insane lineup that's coming on Wednesday night in the Kia Forum in Las Vegas. My goodness, that's going to be an insane show on Wednesday night. And we're going to talk about what we want to see in AEW in 2023. But before we get into any of that stuff, be sure to go ahead, subscribe to the channel. Football season is coming to an end very closely, possibly on Sunday. So I'm going to be getting back into swing of things for wrestling. AEW weekly content. The Royal Rumble is coming up. Also, we have NBA basketball content coming to the Big Fight Field channel soon. So if you all want to subscribe to the channel, be sure to go ahead and subscribe. Cam, let's talk about some AEW, man, shall we? Wednesday night, they debuted a new stage. I thought the stage, I don't really nitpick on anything with the stage, but pretty good stage. There's no more big, gigantic heel tunnel, face tunnel. There's still heels that come out on one side and faces that come out on the other, but there is a new stage. I guess it's not too bad. They had it Wednesday night on Dynamite. They had it again tonight for Rampage. What are your thoughts, really quickly?
I think the stage looks good. I think the stage looks good. I think the stage looks good. The one thing I will say about it is I don't kind of like how it resembles WWE with like the giant Titantrons, like the giant Titantrons. But that's just technology now. But that's just technology now. But I thought the stage looked really cool. One thing I'll say about their backstage interview, one thing I'll say about their backstage area, like when they do backstage interviews, their backstage area looks a lot nicer. It looks a lot nicer and a lot crisper now than it did beforehand. So than it did beforehand. So I really like that about the new setup.
Yeah, I think they constructed that very nicely in this, and stage looks clean, man. I'm not gonna lie. So let's get into some. There were some really big things that happened on Wednesday. Obviously, we're going to talk about the biggest one, in my opinion. Wednesday night, Darby Allin got his hometown moment. He defeated Samoa Joe to win the TNT Championship. This went back to the last episode of Dynamite when Samoa Joe actually beat Wardlow to retain the TNT Championship. And they technically wrote Wardlow off of TV by cutting off his ponytail. So when Wardlow comes back, he's more than likely going to be supporting a new look. But Darby Allin came down for the save at the end. He got a pep talk from Sting before his TNT title match. And he defeated Samoa Joe, man. It was a really good main event. Darby Allin got his moment in Seattle, Washington. He is the TNT champion. and I like it. I mean, Samoa Joe, I would have liked to see a longer run from him. I would have liked to see him hold on to that title possibly until Revolution around there. I thought he was doing great with the whole King of Television gimmick and just destroying everyone, feeling like Samoa Joe NXT a little bit, but he lost. I still think he's going to be feuding with Wardlow when he comes back, and but Darby Allin's the TNT champion, and the TNT championship. The last time Darby Allin had it, it felt important, and we saw the TNT championship featured a lot when Darby Allin was the champion during the pandemic era, and now he's the TNT champion with a full crowd, and now we get to see how he does as champion with a full capacitated crowd. Cam, you want to give your thoughts on the new TNT champion?
I do, man. I do, man. I didn't even say before I did. I just want to say sorry. I left like that. Oh, sorry, I left like that. I ordered food for dinner tonight, and it's just a matter of trying to get it in. It's just a matter of trying to get it in here because
Oh,
I
what you
did
getting?
not order food. I got Carolina Ale House, so
What
yeah.
kind of
But
food? What kind of food?
uh,
I got to know now.
we got some. I got some chicken wings.
There
So
we go.
got some chicken wings tonight. But Darby Allin being TNT champion, I am sad that Samoa Joe's King of Television run is over because I thought because I was really enjoying Samoa Joe as because I was really enjoying Samoa Joe as the King of Television. I thought he was doing a bang up job. But for his feud with Wardlow, it doesn't need the TNT title now because that's more personal issue now with Joe cutting off Wardlow's ponytail. But Darby Allin getting the TNT title back, I like it. I like Darby Allin's TNT champion again because the TNT championship felt important with Darby Allin as TNT champion. Darby Allin got a lot of favors. He got a lot of Dynamite main events as TNT champion. And Darby Allin is TNT champion. His ratings actually, his segments were positive in the ratings. So Darby Allin is TNT champion. Again, I have no issue with. And now you look at the two possible candidates for who can potentially take the championship off Darby Allin. You're looking at either Adam Cole whenever he's ready to come back, or the man I personally go is Swerve Strickland. Swerve Strickland. So, but Darby Allin is TNT champion. I think it opens up a lot more possibilities with him as TNT champion than with Joe. Although with Joe, I am sad that we never got a Joe Miro for the TNT title. I think that would have been great, but that's just me. But anyway, that's just me. But anyway, no, I'm happy Darby Allin's TNT champion.
Yeah, I will say that I do wish Joe had a longer reign as the TNT champion. I hope he is champion again in AEW because, I mean, he was doing some great work as the champion. That match back a couple weeks ago, the first match with him and Darby Allin, I mean, that was awesome. Darby Allin was bumping his ass off for Samoa Joe in that match, man. And even the match with Wardlow was fine. I do hope that Joe gets another crack at it as the champion. But I will say this now. Darby Allin and these weekly open challenges. Rampage is his show. Every main event on Rampage should be Darby Allin defending the TNT Championship against quality opponents. I'm
I
not
agree.
saying I'm not saying like he's got to defend the title every week against jobbers. No offense to Mike Bennett. Actually, I thought the match. If you watched Rampage, I thought the match was really good actually.
That
But
was a,
what was that?
that was a really good match.
Yeah, but what I would do is Darby Allin Rampage is his show. Every Friday, he's got a main event Rampage defending the TNT Championship against good quality opponents. And no offense to Mike Bennett, but we don't see Mike Bennett a lot on AEW television. Give, guys like if I had to think off the top of my head, Darby Allin versus Takeshita, or Darby Allin versus AR Fox, um, guys like that. like that would be good television Friday nights at 10:45. Um, do you agree with that, or do you think they're going to keep him on Dynamite like they did? Well, they didn't have Rampage the first time he was champion, so.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that. Have Rampage be a show. I have one of the things when we talk about things we would like to see from AEW in 2023. I have more of a focus on Rampage, and in order, in my opinion, if you want to do that, in my opinion, you want to put more of a focus back on Rampage. Having Darby Allin and the TNT title on Rampage each week on Rampage each week, I think is a way to, I think is a way to put Darby Allin against quality opponents. You can throw out, you could throw Darby, you can throw Darby Allin and like a no-name guy, like a chop guy on Rampage 1 week. You can, you do that 1 week, that's fine. If you do Darby Allin, and no disrespect to him because I love him, but if you do like Darby Allin and like Anthony Henry on like Rampage for like the TNT title 1 week, that's if you want to do that 1 week, that's fine. But like the majority of his weeks, he should be wrestling quality opponents. Darby Allin and Jungle Boy, you can run that part. You can run that back. You can run back Darby Allin and Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin and Daniel Garcia. By the way, free Danny G. By the way, free Danny G. But you can run Darby Allin and Daniel Garcia for the TNT title. You can do Darby Allin and the 2.0 guys. I forgot their name. I forgot the 2.0 guy's name. I keep calling him Angel.
Daddy Magic.
I keep calling him Angelo Parker. I forgot the other dude's name.
Daddy
But
Magic.
you can do Daddy Magic. But you can do Darby Allin and Dante Martin. So Darby Allin with quality opponents is what I would like to see for the TNT title on Rampage.
And I'm with you. When we get to things we want to see in AEW in 2023, I'm going to talk about Rampage. So just to let y'all know, when we get to that part of the video, I'm going to talk about Rampage. Let's move on to something else that happened Wednesday night. There was a backstage interview with Renee Paquette. She interviewed Saraya, and she was sitting with Tony Storm and Hikaru Shida. And Saraya said that the partner she's picking is, right now, in her opinion, the best women's wrestler in the world. And she abruptly turned to Tony Storm. She's like, Tony, I picked you to be my partner. Now, Sheeta, she had the face of disgust. She looked pissed off. She looked mad. She looked very angry. So as of now, Wednesday night in Los Angeles, we're getting Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter against Saraya and Tony Storm. Cam, I'm calling BS. There's no way you advertised this match for 1 month just for it to be Tony Storm teaming up with Saraya to face Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. Something fishy's up, and I seen this along the community. I saw this on the timeline when I got home from the game on Wednesday night. Many people think that Saraya, that Tony Storm is not going to end up being Saraya's partner, and it's still going to be Mercedes Moné. So, what do you think?
I see that happen. I see that happen, and I think what happens. I see that happen, and I think what happens on Wednesday. I think we see Tony Storm laid out, and I think we see Tony Storm laid out. It's going to be, by a mystery. We're not going to know who's done it. At the end, I think it's going to be revealed that it's Hikaru Shida who took out Tony Storm. So I think Shida's going heel. Because I think Shida's going heel just about the look that she gave Tony Storm on Wednesday night. I flipped there long enough to know them looks. I've been a wrestling fan long enough to know them looks. When somebody looks at you like that, when somebody looks at you like that, just be aware. If I'm Tony Storm, I would walk into if I'm Tony Storm, I would walk into LA with the baseball bat, as protection, because Hikaru Shida is going to attack me because Hikaru Shida is going to attack me from behind. But also, I think it's going to happen. I think she's going to be laid out. We're not going to know who's done it, and Saraya is going to need a partner, and out comes Mercedes Moné. But here's my prediction. Here's my prediction on that. Mercedes Moné will be. Here's my prediction for that. Mercedes Moné will be Saraya's partner, but she won't sign a contract with the AEW. If that makes sense. That makes sense. I see Mercedes Moné right now. I know what I'm saying here kind of sounds like stupid because I would like to think Tony Khan is not going to put a star as big as Mercedes Moné on television without having her signed on an AEW contract. But that's what I think happens. I think she works the tag match, but I don't think we get the All Elite graphic. I don't think she ends up signing with AEW. I think she does this as one off. And I think she's on that Forbidden Door show. And I think she's on that Forbidden Door show if they do it again this year. But I think that's as far as her involvement with the AEW goes this year.
See, I don't know if she's going to be full-time or not because I hear things that, okay, there's a possibility she's going to be on a 6-match contract and 3 of them are going to be pay-per-view matches. I'm not buying that shit at all because then, like, she's barely wrestling for AEW. I know now that she has commitments to New Japan. Obviously, I saw her at that Wrestle Kingdom show come out and lay out Kairi Sane and challenge her for the IWGP Women's Championship on February 18th. So obviously she has commitments to New Japan Pro Wrestling. I don't know if she's going to be fully committed to AEW. I guess time will tell, but I mean, I agree. If I'm Tony Khan, I'm not letting a star as big as Mercedes and letting her out there to go wrestle without a full-time AEW contract. Is he going to sign her to a full-time contract? I don't know. I'm not going to predict that, but what I do know is I do believe that she will be showing up at the Key Forum because, like I said before, you don't promote this match 1 month and have it be Tony Storm to be Soraya's partner. That's a letdown, and I don't think at the end of the day I don't think Tony Storm's going to be her partner. So, any last minute thoughts?
No.
All right, and then the final topic we'll get into from Wednesday's show before we move on is the segment between MJF and Bryan Danielson when MJF is calling himself the best wrestler in the world because he has the AEW World Championship, and Bryan challenged him to a 60-minute Iron Man match at Revolution to truly test if MJF is the best professional wrestler in the world and he can hang in the ring with Bryan Danielson for 60 minutes. And then Danielson said that he's going to run the table through opponents all the way up until Revolution and the 60 minutes against MJF. I like this, man. I mean, 60 minutes. Again, we saw it with Hangman Page, and we're more than likely getting it again with MJF. Do you like the direction this feud is going in?
I like the direction it's going in. I do, and I like the fact that we're going to get because we all know it's going to be Mox. I mean, not Mox. We all know it's going to be Danielson, excuse me, and MJF at Revolution. We all know this, and I like the Iron Man. I do. Here's my one thing about. Here's my one thing about that. This might sound like a nitpick here. I don't like I don't really like them announcing that it's going to be like a 60-minute Iron Man match. And like, here's why. It's not because I think the match itself is going to be bad. I don't think, it's not because I think the match itself is going to be bad. I don't think that at all. You have one of the best wrestlers. You have one of the best wrestlers in the world. You have one of the best wrestlers in the world in Bryan Danielson who can go 60 minutes. My one thing with that is, though, this is a 60-minute Iron Man match, okay? And if it's going to be just like a straight 60-minute Iron Man match in the ring, my thing is you kind of taking the drama out of it. Like the real drama isn't going to come into like the last 5-10 minutes of this match. And like also with this, you announcing this match going 60 minutes, it kind of just feels like, it kind of feels like a lot of the match is just going to be them stomp because they're going to have to because they're going to be pressed for time. So like we know we're going to get a bunch of rest holds in this match and a bunch of submissions and everything because they're going to be pressed for time. I think it would have been better for like Danielson, to challenge like MJ after like 2 out of 3 falls match or something, and then like at the pay-per-view, you just let them go 60 minutes. You don't tell anybody they're going 60 minutes. They just go out there and you're like, wow, they went 60 minutes instead of you already telling people this match is going to go 60 minutes. Brace yourself. That's one. And two, if this match is going 60 minutes, Tony Khan, right, you've already said an hour of your pay-per-view is going to this match. The rest of the Revolution card cannot be 9, 10, 11 matches. It
Oh
cannot
my
be.
God, I agree.
Revolution this year, with you having a 60-minute Iron Man match, Revolution this year has to be 8 matches max. 8 matches max at the max. At the max. So that's the one aspect of this where I don't like. But other than that, 60-minute Iron Man match is max. With Brian Davis. Who can complain about that? That would be the only criticism.
I agree about that last part, man. You're having a 60-minute Iron Man match on this card. Dude, especially on the East Coast, I cannot sit here through 10 matches with this show getting over at 1 o'clock in the morning. I mean, that's not fair, Tony Khan. Don't 8 matches minimum. But I mean, I kind of do like your mindset on that because, what made the first match between Hangman and Danielson so special? It was nobody knew they were going 60 minutes. They went to a 60-minute time limit draw. They were battling for 60 minutes, and how many times was the crowd taken out of that match? I think maybe once, maybe for a few minutes. What made that match so good was the unpredictability that it was going 60 minutes, and now you're giving it to us that hey, at the pay-per-view these guys are gonna go 60 minutes. So you're already given that mindset that there's a lot of submissions and stuff like that. And I don't know about you, Cam, but I don't want to be watching submission and rest holds at 12 o'clock at night in the main event of a 10
Hey
match.
Joseph, hold on 1 second. You go ahead. You go ahead. Just I'm gonna be a while. Hold on. You go.
All right, I'm gonna keep it rolling for you guys. Cam will be back. But what I don't like I said, what I don't like about that is if you do have these 60 matches, if this 60-minute match does happen, you cannot have 10 matches on that card. That's just not fair. And you need to have 8 matches minimum for the Revolution show because if it's not, it's going to be like the Double or Nothing show from 2022 when the pay-per-view goes on until 12:30. That's not fun. So we'll see what happens. We'll see, but we got 2 months until Revolution anyway. So, and we got more to the story between MJF and Bryan Danielson. Now, while Cameron is away right now, I'm gonna get into the lineup for Wednesday's show coming up at the Kia Forum in Los Angeles, which I am very excited about. I mean, this lineup looks. Hey, there he is. So those chicken wings came, didn't they?
I had to make sure they came. I had to make sure they came. I had to make sure they came. There's an issue, but I got them. It's in the house.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So Wednesday night, Kia Forum, Los Angeles. We got match 7 for the AEW Trios Tag Team Championships. Escalera de la Muerte, the Death Triangle against the Elite. The winner of this ladder match is going to walk out as the Trios champions.
All pivotal game 7. Can Kenny Omega and the Elite complete? Can Kenny Omega and the Elite complete a LeBron James 2016 3-1 comeback? Man, they've been hooping. they've been hooping. That triangle been looking kind of sus. That triangle been looking kind of sus. I know game 6 went down to the wire. Game 6 at that, I know game 6 went down to the wire. Game 6 at that buzzer beater shot.
That one.
Game 6 at that buzzer beater shot where what's it called? Where as soon as Omega got the 3 count on Phoenix, one of the Bucks, I forgot who, one of the Bucks just tapped the pack. I know that happened, so that game went down to the wire. But that triangle looking kind of sus, you know what I mean? Don Callis made some offensive adjustments, and that triangle right now, they starting to look like the Utah Jazz in the playoffs. You know what I mean? They starting to look like the Utah Jazz in the playoffs. Rudy Gobert. They get that lead. You think, oh shit, they something, and then all of a sudden they couldn't do it. You remember 2020? Like, you remember 2020? Kawhi Leonard went down with injury.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard went down with injury. The Jazz up. We were all thinking, oh shit. Rudy Gobert, oh shit, Utah about to go to the finals. I mean, and then they blew them leads. They blew them leads and they lost that series. That's what's looking like is happening here with the elite, and I'm not with the elite with that triangle. That triangle looking kind of sus. You know what I mean? They looking kind of sus. They might need to change. They might need the Alex Abrahantes might need to change the game plan up some. Maybe they use Pack as pick. Maybe they use Pack more of a pick and roll ball handler role, something. Something, because right now it ain't looking too good for him. The elite making that comeback. I'm making that LeBron James. That's comeback, man. It ain't looking too good for him.
I feel you, man. I feel you. But no, that's going to be amazing. Match 6 literally was a buzzer beater by the Elite. The save the series, bang! That match was incredible. I'm expecting greatness on Wednesday night from match 7. We got Bryan Danielson going 1-on-1 with Tanosuke Takeshita. We got Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter teaming up to face Saraya and Tony Storm. We got weeks and weeks of this rivalry, and it's all coming to a head in Los Angeles. Jon Moxley against Adam Hangman Page. That should be a banger. Very excited for that rematch. We got Lee Moriarty and Big Bill against Jack Perry and Hook. And we're going to hear from the Jericho Appreciation Society. So Cam, that should be a really, really interesting show on Wednesday night.
It should, man. That show's looking incredible, man. They're in LA. Only thing is, I wish they were running the crypto Staples Center, but they're not. But they're not. It's fine with me. Probably cost a lot of money to run that building. It's fine with me. And I know this shit ain't gonna happen. But with the Elite pulling off that LeBron James that's comeback, I wish they could have had LeBron James in the crowd or something. For Dynamite this week. But that's all wishful thinking by me. But Wednesday show's looking incredible. That show's looking insane.
Yes, sir. Now the final thing we're going to talk about. A couple things we want to see from AEW in 2023. I would say that 2022, if there was one word to describe AEW, it would be strange. Strange booking, strange behavior backstage, fights in the medium scrum, fights with wrestlers. And it's time to flip the page into a new year for Tony Khan and AEW. And I'm not going to list a whole bunch of things because we would be here forever. But I'm going to we'll give around 3 things. That's fine with you?
I don't know.
And I already kind of mentioned it first, but the first thing I'm going to mention is make Rampage feel important. I haven't admitted it, Cam, but I actually miss reviewing Rampage. Now, why do I not review Rampage anymore? Because the show really doesn't matter. There's not really great important matches on the show like we got in the beginning stages of Rampage, like Kenny Omega, like that the first episode, Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage. Must watch. Excellent match. Christian Cage wins the Impact World Championship. I felt like we haven't gotten any important stuff on Rampage. No title changes, no big marquee matchups. The biggest match that the last big match that I remember that took place on Rampage was that street fight, or that I think it was a street fight between Adam Cole and Hangman Page for the AEW World Championship. That was really the last time I remember, oh boy, I got to tune into Rampage because I want to see these guys go at it for the world title. I haven't felt that excitement in a very long time. And I feel like in 2023, Tony Khan needs to rejuvenate that. Make key storylines on Rampage. Make the TNT Championship a weekly thing on Rampage. The show is on TNT. The TBS title shouldn't be defended on TNT. The TNT
Cargill period on TV.
Oh, me neither. Me neither. The TNT Championship should be main event every single week with Darby Allin as the champion. Get some big storylines on Rampage, you know? I kind of like that some of the story between Mox and Hangman has been on Rampage. I want to see more of that. I want to see Rampage important because, man, your boy misses reviewing Rampage on Friday nights, and until it gets important, I'm not going to. So, Cam, let's get to your first point.
I just want to add on to that Rampage thing because that was my main Rampage important.
Okay.
I got another show I wish AEW would make film important, but I'll get into that. You talked about the storylines. I would like to see Rampage have Rampage exclusive storylines. Do storylines exclusively on Rampage. Take two big names and have a storyline between them exclusively on Rampage. Like trying to think of a big name. This is just me spitballing. This isn't gonna happen. This is me spitballing. But if you have like a feud between like let's say you have a feud between like Kenny Omega and like Bryan Danielson, right? Let's say you have a feud between those two guys, like two big headline guys.
Sure.
If something have that be a try this. Have that be a Rampage exclusive feud. To where if you don't watch Rampage, you don't see storyline development with Omega, with Omega and Danielson. You don't see that. If you only watch a Rampage, you aren't seeing Omega and Danielson out there promos with each other, or Omega and Danielson out there wrestling. You're not seeing that if you don't watch Rampage. That's something I would like to see. We talked about the TNT title, making that, we talked about the TNT title, having that be defended on Rampage. I would like to see that, but I would like to see Rampage have more Rampage exclusive storylines. That's not to say Rampage is a bad show. Rampage is an easy watch. It's an hour, but I don't think nothing happens on that show. Like Rampage, if you skip Rampage, you miss nothing. So I would like to see them do that. Have Rampage exclusive storylines and stories. One thing I'd like to see. But moving on to the show, I would like to see them fix Battle of the Belts. Make Battle of the Belts important, please. Battle of the Belts, it should be a big deal because you have a lot of championships defended, or that shows not the championship matches. But man, they put matches on these shows. I just sit there and go, why the hell is this happening? Like the night Orange Cassidy is wrestling Kip Sabian, and no disrespect to Kip Sabian, that's just the best you have from Orange Cassidy is to put him in a feud with Kip Sabian. Like Orange Cassidy, Orange Cassidy, one of the most popular guys on your roster, and the best you have is to put him in a feud with Kip Sabian. Like really, you have FTR defending the Ring of Honor tag team titles and Escapes of Agony on that show. Like why? Like why? I want to see Battle of the Belts get a level of them. I want to see Battle of the Belts get a level of importance. And I think two ways you do that is I'm a spitball here. I know some people in the comment section are going to be like, "Why?" I'm a spitball here. There are two names. I would like to see the AEW title defended on Battle of the Belts. And there are two names that I think if you put those matches on Battle of the Belts, people would tune in. Sting and Dustin Rhodes. Build a Sting Darby, build a Sting MJF matchup and put that on Battle of the Belts. I think you'd get some people intrigued in that. And same thing, MJF and Dustin Rhodes. You can tell a story of Dustin Rhodes going for his first championship. and build it up. Build it up. You're gonna do Battle of the Belts here on a ship, on a week where you don't have, in a month where you don't have to build for pay per view. Build that storyline up and have it at Battle of the Belts. That's what I like to see. I like to see Battle of the Belts and AEW Rampage have more of a focus than they do now. So those shows are completely skippable. You miss those shows, you missing up. You get what, some good wrestling? You get what, some good wrestling? No offense, but like main event on like Hulu has good wrestling. I'm not watching main event. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's like fix the show. That's what I'd like to see them do. Make those shows feel important.
Now, that was your first one, right? Or were you piggybacking off of Rampage?
That's piggybacking up for Rampage.
That's fine. But I'm gonna give my second one right now, and I feel like there's a lot of there's a lot of groups or talent that I feel like AEW this really didn't necessarily capitalize on in 2022, and I hope to see them in more of an important role in 2023. And Cam, we've had discussion about this in group chats on the show. I want to see the House of Black in a bigger role in 2023, man. They
On TV.
Malachi Black's a main eventer, okay? Um, the shit. I mean, him, the House of Black and Death Triangle are great wrestlers, but that feud went on for like 8 months, and it didn't matter because we were tired of it. Okay, we didn't care about it after month 5 or whatever. Pac came back, and then they had a pre-show match at Revolution, and then they dragged it out to okay, and then losing like the way they did at All Out. I don't know, man. I just want to see more of an important role for the House of Black in 2023. And would a feud with the Elite do it? I don't know. It would have to
That's the
be a
thing,
great
though.
feud.
This thing, though. I'm terrified of that. I'm terrified of that because if so they do that match at Revolution, you just put the trios titles on. The Elite just went through this grueling best of 7 series to win the trios titles back. You're gonna really take it off them a month, or you gonna really take them off, or you really gonna take it off them 2 months later and put it on House of Black? Like you're gonna put it on House of Black? Like I want to see a House of Black Elite feud, but like I don't want the House of Black to go in there and lose. When House of Black faces the Elite trios titles, they should win. This should not be a match you do at Revolution because we don't have any other trios. I do not want to see that. I do not want to see that happen. When House of Black gets their match, House of Black should win. House of Black should win. Should not House of Black should win. Shouldn't do this shit. Shouldn't do this shit. Well, they'll face the Elite on pay per view here, and then we'll do another. I want to see that. I want to see that. I want to see this one and done. I want to see this one and done. That's what I would like to see. I'm sorry to interrupt you. But.
You're perfectly fine, man. But yeah, that's my second one. Bigger role for House of Black. What's your second thing you want to see?
My second thing for AEW this year would be other thing for AEW this year is I would like to see them fix their tag team. I don't think it's been talked about this year, but
No,
their
no.
tag team division this year, and it's not all their fault, but their tag team division, in my opinion at least, is kind of, in my opinion, it's kind of like falling off. I don't know about falling off a cliff, but like it's kind of like falling off I'll just say this you should not need a 50-something-year-old Jeff Jarrett wrestling wrestling the Acclaim for your tag team, wrestling the Acclaim for your tag team titles because you don't have any other tag teams. That should not be happening. So I would like to see that should not be happening. So I would like to see the tag team division get more of a, get more, I would like to see their tag team division get more of a boost, get more of a boost. And again, I have faith it will. Again, I have faith it will, but I would like to see their tag team division get more of a boost in 2023. I would like to see that.
I really don't feel like a lot of people have talked about that. So that's a good point. And the last point I'm gonna bring up is I don't think it's gonna happen, but Cam, I don't like 8-month-long feuds that we get, for example, with the Blackpool Combat Club and the Jericho Appreciation Society. They
Oh,
feuded from
oh,
June all the way until Christmas.
that
6 months.
shit's on and on and on. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! After Blood and Guts should have been the end of. Blood and Guts should have been the end of this feud here. Blood and Guts should be the blow off to all feuds here. I don't want to see Blood and Guts happening and then these guys still feud. And then these guys still feud. We saw that shit we saw that shit in 2021. Uh, what's it called? The Inner Circle and the Pinnacle. The Inner Circle and the Pinnacle had their big Blood and Guts match, and then 2 months later, All Out is MJF and Jericho. Like why? Well, like why? This shit is over. This shit is beyond over. Move on. What was the point of Blood and Guts? Ain't that supposed to be the big ender? Move on, man. I don't want to see this shit no more. My God.
You get combination of matches every single week. And it's like, okay, Sammy Guevara versus Moxley, Claudio and Wheeler Yuta against Jake Hager and Garcia, Jericho against Claudio, Jericho and Garcia against Danielson and Moxley. It's like it's so repetitive. It's like how in the world could we possibly care about this shit? Great wrestlers, but like repetitive matches and boring television. Blackpool Combat Club against the JAS, Death Triangle against the House of Blacks, another one. Um, I don't think they're gonna go away from it because I just have that feeling they're not going to. But um, but man, when it's time to move on, move the fuck on, you know?
Yeah, and I think like part of their problem too, but and I think like part of the issue is that like they'll go away, it's like they'll go away from the feud for like a time being, then they'll go back to it, and it's like, damn man, it was like, damn, these guys are still feud, like these guys are still feud with each other, this shit didn't end here. They're still feuding, like why? But like like why? Like why? It's like they'll go away from it for like a while, and then like they'll go back to it. I don't like when they do. I don't. I just don't like when they do.
Yeah. And then your final point that
My
you want to
final
see.
point. My final point. I'd like to see change in AEW. This ain't got nothing to do with AEW itself. This come from its fan base. AEW fan base in 2023. Please, please cut this tribalism bullshit out, man. Please stop. Please cut this tribalism bullshit out in 2023. Please stop. Can we please take I'm with A? Can we please stop putting I'm with AEW in our Twitter bios? Can we please stop? Can we please stop making up Twitter names that have I love AEW 1, 2, 3, 4? Can we please stop doing that shit? Can we please stop? We're trying to have a civilized conversation about AEW. Go, oh, stop bitching this and the third, or just watch the damn show. Can we please stop this tribalism shit out? Please, that's what I would like to see in the 2023. This ain't got nothing to do with AEW. Can we please stop this tribalism bullshit in 2023? Just watch wrestling. If you like WWE and AEW, you can like WWE and AEW, folks. You can like WWE and AEW without going, man, fuck the Fed, or man, imagine watching, man, fuck the Fed, or man, who watching, like, imagine watching Raw, blah, 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 blah. Like, no, man, like, if you watch Raw on Monday and Dynamite on Wednesday, and you watch 2.0 on Tuesday, and you watch GCP, you watch 2.0 on Tuesday, and you watch Impact, you watch Impact on Thursday, that's great. That's great. Do that. We should be able to do that. We shouldn't be cracking jokes and shit like that anymore. That shit's getting old. That shit's getting tiresome. If I see it, that shit's getting old. That shit's getting tiresome. If I see you do that shit on Twitter, you're getting blocked. If I come across the Twitter username and it's got, if I come across the Twitter handle and it's got I'm with AEW in the handle, that's an automatic block. Can we leave that shit in the past? Can we leave it in 2022, folks? Let's move into 2023 and let's enjoy all kinds of wrestling, folks. Can we please do that? Moving into 2023, folks. That's what I would like to see change from AEW. It ain't got shit to do with the company. It got shit to do with their fans.
I mean, keep preaching, my friend, but you know these people in the wrestling community, they don't give a shit. So that's why I separate myself from them sometimes. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for tonight. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Field channel. We got one last final post-game recap. Miami Dolphins on Sunday if they don't make the playoffs. And if they do, then we got playoffs next week. Also, Wednesday night, big night, AEW in Los Angeles. I'm definitely going to be doing a review with Cameron Johnson. Hopefully, we get Wesley Williams back on. I'm even thinking about doing a watch along, man. Haven't decided yet, but I'm going to think about that. But definitely review Wednesday night after the show. Comment down below. What do you want to see from AEW in 2023? What do you think about the new stage, the new format for AEW going into the new year? Hit the like button if you like what you heard from myself and Cameron Johnson. Follow me on Twitter and TikTok at Colin_Joseph. Cam, take us home. Where can they follow you?
Follow me on Twitter at Cam71101. Just don't be a shill or else you will get blocked. Yeah, just follow me on Twitter at Cam71101. I'm not doing shit on there. I'm not doing shit on there but talking wrestling. So yeah, follow me on Twitter.
Folks, that's going to do it tonight. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I will see you Sunday and have a good night. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy. I'm out. Peace.